Hello everybody, I had a full morning thrift store shopping today. I went to, on the way home, our usual, best place that we go to all the time, which ended up being kind of a dud today. But on the way home, I went there because I went out early this morning, got up early and went to a place that's around an hour away, a little over an hour away, that we've only been to a handful of times, but it's another one of those Goodwill bargain outlets with all the bins to sift through and everything, but it's very far away and usually didn't have time to get there. Now I should be able to, have a little bit more of an open schedule and get there a little more often, because it is a really good place to find stuff. The couple times we've been there, it's a little far away to go, considering it's not always like super awesome, so all the gas and time, whatever, but this time was brilliant, and in general we at least made it worth a while going there. So I'll be checking that out more frequently. Today was awesome. There were a ton of people there. It was packed. It was like 30 people waiting when this place opened. It's a pretty big place, but yeah, it was packed and people were just going nuts. But there was so much stuff. As soon as I walked in, there were probably 10 or 15 bins full of clothing, shoes, glassware, and everything. And on the other side, there were 2 rows of, I want to say, probably 2 sections of 8 that were filled with books, movies, knickknacks, whatever, and then another thing of 5 bins are just filled with books. Just tons of stuff. We're going to go back there. I'm going to go with Amanda one morning, probably this week or next week. I went on my own today because I found a lot of great stuff, especially books, but tons of great stuff for the store, and 1 or 2 things for us. One thing really, really cool that I'm actually going to save for last because it's awesome. First, a few just kind of odds and ends. Texas Instruments calculator, the kind of thing that you grab by weight if it's in working condition for back to school kind of thing. One of the Country Bears, some Country Bear Jamboree, and a Fozzie stuffed animal from the 80s. Just a couple little random things there. Then getting into the DVDs, we have the Muppets Christmas Carol on DVD, Fraggle Rock Dance Your Cares Away. So this is just a collection of 3 episodes, I think, with bonus features and some sing-along stuff there. A copy of Ghost Ship. The Laugh Out Loud 4-movie collection. This is a whole bunch of Seth Rogen movies. And then some Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers movies. You have Top Hat, Follow the Fleet, and the Barclays of Broadway. So 3 of those. That'll be good to lot up and put those together. And then a ton of books, a handful of softcover, but only 2. The rest are all hardcover, all hardbacks. One covers a little more beat up than I'd like, but it's a big omnibus edition, R.A. Salvatore, Paths of Darkness. So any kind of R.A. Salvatore, those big editions will sell well, and might hold on to that until we have 1 or 2 more to go with it. We'll see. We have the Mythic Imagination, the quest for meaning through personal mythology. That looks pretty fascinating. Then a whole stack of hardcover books. First off, let's move these out of the way here. We have Sesame Street, and then a huge stack of Disney. A whole bunch of these Disney, really good shape hardcover kids books that we'll just put up in a lot together and sell those. We've been doing really well lately with huge lots of books, like anywhere from 10 to 15, 20, like just big lots of books, finding a whole series and that kind of thing and going through. That's just been doing really well. We have Natalie, a memoir by her sister, Lana Wood, so Natalie Wood. And a bunch of sci-fi. We have The City Who Fought, a bunch of hardcover sci-fi, really cool artwork. I love a lot of these science fiction covers, especially when you get some Elizabeth Moon, who I really like reading. A lot of the 80s and 90s sci-fi has some really great covers. This is really cool. I like that. So, a whole bunch. Hardcover science fiction is great to find. Sometimes can be a little bit harder to come by. And this is pretty interesting. This is a little more recent. This is I believe a library edition, but A Searing Wind. So all those books, ton of stuff there. Grabbed a handful of VHS. I've been trying to kind of be a little more strict with the VHS that I pick up now. VHS for a while were just selling. We couldn't keep up with it. There were some times where I think like last year at one point there was a month where we were selling like 4 or 5 VHS tapes guaranteed every single weekend, and a couple more during the week. and I couldn't find enough really good quality stuff to even keep up with it. Demand was crazy, and demand is kind of petered off right now. It's one of those things that kind of comes and goes. Certain stuff like horror movies and things are going to sell out this fall. Anime stuff will always sell. Some nostalgic stuff like Nickelodeon, but it's kind of in a lull right now. So be a little more picky. Looked up some stuff and found a couple that were worth grabbing. We have from the Hollywood Matinee Serials series, 12 episodes, 3 hours of The Masked Marvel. And then this is a 2-cassette set here from Republic Pictures. We have Panther Girl of the Congo. And they had a couple more of these in there, a bunch of like old serials, but a lot of them were stuff that's like public domain on DVD collections and like wasn't worth picking up, at a piece. So those weren't worth getting. This is pretty cool. We have Batman with Robin the Boy Wonder, Bat Tape 1 from the 1940s serial. Pretty fascinating here. So I'm going to check this out. I don't know, it's kind of an interesting thing. I'll have to research this one, but it looks pretty cool. One Power Rangers tape with the Yellow Rangers, original Rangers. This is interesting. The cover's a little more beat up than I would like, but it seems to be kind of hard to find, and out of print, so worth grabbing. We have Play-Doh presents Dodo Island Adventures. So a lot of those kind of random oddball stuff can do well. Care Bears Camp. And one last thing I mentioned, Nickelodeon tapes. We have Rugrats, Tales from the Crib. So any 90s Nickelodeon and those orange cassettes, any of those orange VHS tapes will do well. Grabbed all of those. And then the last thing that I found there before talking about the little bit of stuff found in our normal place, first started off as excitement, then disappointment, then elation. Because I was going through, and again, they have bins that are full of DVDs, but a lot of them were empty or just completely scratched, and it just wasn't a whole lot, and there were a bunch of other people grabbing DVDs, so there were a few that I missed out on, definitely that would have been good, but there's way too many people, they're just everywhere. But I grabbed quickly as soon as I saw this, and it was empty and destroyed. The special edition, the limited edition here of Princess Mononoke, and it's ripped up, and the box is empty, so nothing there. But then I kept digging, and I found not only were all the contents there, inside the big box is a smaller box, and the smaller box had everything in there, 100% complete. Not only that, it is sealed. So this is definitely for me. This is one thing I found for me. It's a limited edition with soundtrack and 40-page book with it. Fantastic. So the outer box was annihilated and empty, as much as just fallen out of it, but it was inside completely sealed, perfectly sealed. So awesome. That is for me. That is fantastic. And then on the way home, because it's really far away, I took the extra, drove pretty much past where I live, another 10-15 minutes, because I went the opposite direction to go to our normal place, but they really didn't have much. Found a couple of Babysitter's Club books, the first, the Hunger Games paperback, and then one set here just for about, I think this cost me $1.50 of these old, the wooden board games with the pegs and everything. I remember these, especially in Friendly's around where I am. They don't have them there anymore, but I remember as a kid, Friendly's restaurants specifically always had those, and so that's where I really remember those from. But that's the kind of thing that will definitely sell. There are a lot of them, good variety, and they're good condition, so it was worth picking up because that's all there was there, that little bit. But the other place was worth going to. It was great. Fantastic. So I had a really good morning, and we're probably going to check back there. Hopefully Matt and I will go out, and I'll see you then. If not, make sure you check out. I've been uploading a lot of stuff in the meantime, some pickups, video things, some Nickelodeon things we've added. Amanda picked up some more PS4 games over the weekend, and I definitely am going to be catching up a lot of these finished collection videos and stuff, so look forward to a lot of those coming up.